The cutting of ears in dogs is a custom that has been present in different cultures for a long time. Numerous historical sources reveal that some breeds, such as the boxer, which was used to fight in dog fights, were cut with the aim of minimizing the points that could be bitten by the opposing animal. In other breeds, this practice has been carried out in order to obtain a more aggressive appearance, such as the Rottweiler, Dobermann, Pitbull, Presa Canario, and Dogo Argentino, among others. A strong argument that justifies ear cropping as a way of trying to regain its natural conformation is based on the fact that domestic dogs have drooping ears, and this condition produces some alterations in the functionality and health of the animal, in contrast to the animals in the wild that have perfectly erect ears and do not suffer from the hearing problems of domestic dogs. This fact can be verified by simple observation when comparing the ears, for example, of a Lycaon dog and those of an Australian wild dog against the ears of a Doberman and a Weimaraner. A well-shaped and erect ear behaves like an antenna that receives sound waves from its environment and redirects them into the ear canal, providing the dog with adequate hearing sensitivity to perform its hunting functions. On the contrary, the drooping ears obstruct the auditory canal, reducing the ability of the animal to perceive low-intensity sounds, and also predisposes it to develop ear diseases due to the growth of fungi as a result of poor aeration. To understand why, with the passage of time and in the transition from the wild boar to the domestic dog, the ears fell, we have to review the studies carried out by Charles Darwin and some contemporary scientists. Darwin's research on domesticated species revealed an interesting phenomenon. From his study of animal husbandry work, he discovered that domesticated mammals in general exhibit a set of behavioral, physiological, and morphological traits not seen in their wild ancestors. Today, the complete set of these characteristics is known to include increased tameness and meekness, changes in coat color, reductions in tooth size, changes in craniofacial morphology, alterations in the shape of the ears and tail, e.g. drooping ears, more frequent and non-seasonal heat cycles, prolongations in juvenile behavior, and reductions in both the total size of the brain and in certain regions of the brain, among others. This set of characteristics is known as domestication syndrome, SD. Other more advanced and current studies carried out during the embryonic development of various species, such as that the initial selection for meekness leads to the reduction of tissue derived from the structure known as neurocrest, which affect the number of neurocrest cells in neurocrests and size, and that this increase in the normal function of the neurocrest generates as an unselected byproduct phenotypic changes in pigmentation, jaw, teeth, ears, etc. To test this theory, a set of experimental rat domestication studies were conducted, but the most extensive body of work involves foxes, wolves, and wolves. With these studies, it was shown that the full set of traits that constitutes DS can emerge relatively quickly under selection only for meekness in a species that have never been domesticated. Similar results have been obtained in experiments with rats and minks under the same experimental conditions. However, the discussion that this topic is generating is quite recent. This is because animal welfare is an area that is currently gaining ground and is being investigated more and more. In addition, thanks to the media, there is a more awareness on the part of society of the treatment that pets are given in hatcheries, during transport, and in the stores where they are sold and spend their first weeks or months of life. Society is increasingly upset about animal abuse and encompasses addressing not only dogs and cats, but also other species such as production animals, animals used for shows and bullfights, among others. Even so, exclusively cosmetic surgery or procedures is not always included within this term. Let's listen to the opinion of an expert in this type of surgery, the Argentine veterinarian Sergio de la Torre, who will explain the whole issue of ear cropping and its advantages. In the next video I will explain the types of ear cropping and the care that must be taken after the surgery.
Well, now we are going to fix the ears of the Doberman puppy that has been operated on. Ear cropping basically originated so that the dogs could listen better, guard and defense dog. Then it was done because of fashion, and now there is a discussion about the prohibition of ear cropping. Some countries have banned it and some others ban it and then authorizes it again. The real thing is that the dog after ear cropping is aesthetically better and that the dog listens better. It doesn't get ill, it doesn't get otitis. Why? Because after ear cropping the dog gets stronger. It becomes a stronger, more resistant organism. Any surgery hurts more. A tattoo hurts more. Tattoos are much more painful than ear cropping. And those who scandalize the most do it because of ignorance. It is done under anesthesia and following the correct and necessary protocols to respect the animal. It is true that it hurts a little, but less than a castration, a tattoo or a rhinoplasty in humans, okay? Now, you will see the ear cropping.
Una semanita más. ¿Notaron que cómo anda bien? ¿No muy bien? Sí, está agradecido. Está bonito. Bueno, come bien, salta, juega, todo normal. ¿Alguna preguntita de algo? No, ¿no? ¿Tenés alguna duda, alguna preguntita de algo? No. Esta oreja ahora no se puede meter para adentro, tiene que estar así. Cuando toma atención, ahí para adentro. ¿Está? Estamos en la puerta de los aplausos. Te digo más, antes de venirte la semana que viene le sacas todo. Ya te venís aireado. ¿Eso es perdona? Sí. Ha quedado bonito. ¿Sí? Y va a tener muchas novias porque es 90, 60, 90. Está tuneado el show. Chao. Hasta luego.
Continuing the subject of ear cropping, it is a much discussed topic today, and I was in New York City a short time ago. It is a city where ear cropping was banned and now it is authorized again. It is a complex topic. I don't want to start any controversy, but ear cropping was originated so that the dog could hear better. The origin goes back to 6,000 years. In fact, in the British Museum, there is a marble statue of a dog with cropped ears which dates back to 4,000. In Egypt, you can see many statues of dogs with cropped ears. One realizes that people cropped the ears which were not erect. What is my point? A dog with cropped or erect ears listens 6 to 10 times better than a dog with floppy ears. Why do some dogs have floppy ears? It is the result of the domestication and human selection. Because if one goes back and looks at the wild dogs, the wolves, all have erect ears. In general, dogs with floppy ears could not hear well, could not quickly grasp the situation. The fact is that the dog with cropped or erect ears listens 6 to 10 times better than a dog with floppy ears. That is the origin of the ear cropping, guard and defense. Later, people, as dogs were domesticated, realized that after cropping the dog's ear, the dogs could get through the winter, that the dog didn't get ill, that the dog became stronger, that it overcame distemper, and they started taking it as a routine treatment. In fact, when the British people came to the Argentina country around the 19th century, they brought the basic treatment of that time. And when they found a feverish cow or feverish horse, Bloodletting was the usual treatment. They usually cut one or both ears to dogs with a cold. This generally was done to dogs with floppy ears because dogs with cropped ears didn't get ill. All this was permitted from generation to generation, and today in the Argentina country the gaucho cut one or the 2 ears of dogs with the stamper. They cut off a little piece of the ear, and when you see a dog with a piece of its ear missing, it is not because another dog hurt it in a fight. It is due to the transmission of the basic rudimentary knowledge that with ear cropping the dog's defenses are activated, and so the dog overcomes the illness. The gaucho and people in general believe it is the bleeding, that because of the bleeding the dog gets better. I believe that too, but it is more important the inflammation and reaction that ear cropping produces in the scar. It is for 3 or 4 weeks that the organism is defending and healing itself. It is manufacturing and closing the wound. It is the activation of the immunocompetent system which makes it train. It is like when you go to the gym. You are skin and bone, and then your muscle get bigger. It is like that. After ear cropping, the immune system is stronger, immune stimulated. It is like that. It's that easy. I think it is a grave mistake to ban ear cropping, because who doesn't know that is banned? Dog breeders. How do dog breeders do it? They give the dog some sedative drops and they crop the ears with the dog half awake. Who lost? The dog lost. He suffered. In an operated theater under anesthetic protocol, it doesn't realize what happened. It wakes up with cropped ears with bandages, and then aesthetically the dog really looks better. Plastic surgeries are too beautified. The Dobermann is beautiful with cropped ears and cut tail. If you leave the ears and tail long, Pointer looks better, Weimarans look better. Many dogs look better than the Dobermann. A dog which aesthetically doesn't look beautiful with floppy ears and long tail. That is hard. It's hard like when one has one tooth pulled out. A tattoo. Castration hurt more than cropping the ears. Rhinoplasty. I have 4 sisters. 2 of them have had a rhinoplasty done, and they tell me I wouldn't do that again. That hurts a lot. So on the one hand we scandalize, and on the other it is more and more fashionable. Plastic surgeries in humans have become very popular worldwide because they are done to beautify. But in dogs now we scandalize more. We shouldn't scandalize. We should put each thing in the right place. Please. I defend ear cropping because it is one of the things I do well. And aesthetical dogs are beautiful. They can hear better. They don't get ill. They don't get otitis. Well, I hope I have answered to some people who I am sure are saying hello to me after watching this video. Bye-bye. I hope this will be useful for you.
Sigue viendo nuestra espectacular colección de contenidos. Únete a nuestra comunidad y disfruta primero nuestros más recientes videos.